Since the Stalker series is getting a new game soon, hype around the games and all of the mods has been growing. But while we wait for Stalker 2 to release, us fans must find some other game where we could enjoy the zone shenanigans. And as I recently got Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, I decided I would try out this 17-year-old game and see how it has aged, and if it even comes close to competing with modern games. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before I tell you what I think of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl though, I'll quickly tell you what it even is, as some might not know what this game or series is. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is the first installment of 3 Stalker games made by GSC Game World around the late 2000s, specifically 2007 to 2010. SOC is a post-apocalyptic survival game set in the zone. Located at Chernobyl, the zone is full of mutants and weird anomalies caused by a second nuclear disaster at the power plant which changed conditions gravely. There are also people in this area called Stalkers. Officially, they are trespassing in the zone, and the military that also resides in the area will kill them on sight. But unofficially, they are the most reliable workhorses for any individual who wants something retrieved in the zone, as they are the most experienced people who can be enlisted. Basically, they are scavengers, collecting artifacts and doing jobs for others. The game itself has you looking for a stalker named Strelok, helping people in the zone and just surviving the dangers of it. It's quite simple, isn't it? Now that I have followed some of you up on what Stalker is, it's time to see if it's still good after 17 years. And firstly, I should probably talk about the most obvious thing that you can see right away, and that's the looks of the game. The visuals are probably the one thing that haven't aged well. Comparing the game to modern day ones is pointless, as we already know that it wouldn't even be close to modern day graphics. The game looks kind of empty. There is not much vegetation, there's a small amount of trees, buildings don't look the best, and overall you can really see that it's a game from 2007. But let's say you don't care about graphics. The looks of a game don't matter to you, and all you want is the rest of the game to be good. Then it's a different story. And this is where we move on to the second point, the gameplay. The fact that Shadow of Chernobyl is from 2007 and has gameplay like this is just insane to me. And I honestly think this game was ahead of its time gameplay wise. Here's what I mean. Let's compare this game to something like Metro Exodus, since it's basically like Stalker but a modern version. In my opinion, they feel almost the same. The gameplays of both are smooth and fun. Stalker has amazing gunplay. It is intense, and despite the age of the game, it is realistic. It makes the gunplay fun, and the fact that this game is also quite difficult adds to that. I absolutely love how the game is unforgiving, and battles with enemies are difficult. Stalker is basically a game of peeking, as if you don't want to be one shot with the shotgun, you have to peek from behind walls and slowly and steadily kill enemies. It makes every firefight a challenge, but a challenge that's also really fun. With mutants as well. In the beginning they are quite easy to handle, but some of them are truly terrifying to encounter and are strong as hell. I also feel like the sound design is very well done. The guns may not sound that good, but the rest is pretty good for such an old game. Probably the most important thing is that this game is immersive, and for a game that looks outdated, that's a big achievement. But there is a good reason for this. It's again because I think this game is ahead of its time. It managed to do so many things that make games immersive nowadays, but it did that 17 years ago. The world of the game might not be immersive, because it's quite small. There isn't much to explore and it looks kind of bland, but everything else is great. Like I mentioned before, the gunplay of Stalker is intense and realistic, but also the fact you need to check if you have eaten or if you have radiation helps with the immersiveness. Another factor that helps is the characters you meet on your journey. Some of them are kind to you, most aren't, but in a way they are like you. People trying to achieve something in the zone, even if it's illegal to be there. The characters feel genuine, and that's pretty good, I think. All these help with the immersiveness of the game, but I think what helps the best is how scary this game can be. For example, I had just gone into the dark valley to find documents for the barkeep from some kind of laboratory. I had to do some other things like save a dude here from prison, but after that I went in. I right away heard weird, almost scary sounds, and it got me a bit anxious right from the start. But the more I got in, the worse it got. I saw boxes and barrels floating around and trying to attack me, which made me really weirded out and scared. Finally, a weird human-like mutant ran out of nowhere on all fours and jumped me. I luckily killed it, but it was so unexpected that I screamed from fear and I was terrified. The monster felt like it was a human, but it also wasn't. The way it attacked me by jumping on me was just horrifying. The encounter made me scared for the rest of the mission, but after I finished it I realized why I love Stalker so much and why I think it aged so well. I believe Stalker aged really well because it feels like modern games, even if it doesn't look like one. It's just as fun and immersive as newer FPS survivals, and to me it's crazy that it's not more popular. The game may not have fancy graphics and beautiful animations, but it sure as hell gives the same feeling that a newer game like Metro Exodus gives. That feeling of being immersed in the game, having fun and enjoying the game. For a video game that is older than me, that is impressive.